Well, about 4 minutes away from the start. There is the temperature. It was about 15 degrees, I think, last year, Paul. It certainly felt a lot colder, but quite warm this morning, so that may make a bit of a difference. And what about a quick rundown of the women's chances? I mean, Ruth Chepngetich not come back, last year's course record winner, fourth fastest in history, but Workness Jagesa, who was finished, well, not very
change. He probably will get the
eventually, but he's certainly not as far back as we thought he was. That's not 30 seconds behind the leaders, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, what's interesting though, Pat, is that we're 99% sure that this is a training run for Suguru Osako. He just wants to go to around 25k, the Japanese national record holder. But Paula, I would imagine that he's come here on reasonably tired legs if he's still in training for Tokyo. He hasn't eased off. He hasn't adjusted his training these last couple of weeks like the rest of these guys have for this race.
No, he won't have eased.
So just gone through 20k, is it, I think? And up alongside her pacemaker. That's Berhanu Hailu. Now.
Well, her half marathon time is going to be really interesting.
Isn't it just? Yes. Kosgei and her world record 66.59. Paula, do you know what your halfway split was in London back in 2003?
68.04.
Well, I've got 68.02 here.
Oh.
But not bad, not bad. What was your second half then? Come on.
Oh, work it out from that, can't you? What was it, 67.30 something?
67.23 is what I've got from one of the official reports. But yeah, it will be interesting to see him to get
down to in the last couple of kilometres maybe now.
And it's interesting to see that the debutant Kiptanui was slightly onto one side, as if he wanted to run his own race. He's back in the pack now. 58.42 half marathon, a really rapid time, but he's still looking very, very good on his marathon debut.
Adugna is there as well. Olika Adugna, the 20-year-old, he's making his debut, the Ethiopian. Just looking, I mean, he's run 61.43 for a half. That was in Paris in 2018. He was a pretty useful junior. He was fifth in the World Junior Championships, 10,000 at Dugna. But now he's dropped back into the pack. I think there he is in the green to the left of picture. He's only 20 years old. You've got this sort of cat and mouse ducking and diving going on. They're all wondering and very nervous about when to make their move. Nobody has hit the front and really committed and tried to pull apart this pack and get away. I would like to have seen that as well. But actually, this is great racing.
Yeah, it is great racing, but I would disagree. I would say that it is the conditions that have caused the race to take first seat, prominent seat here, and make it more about the racing, because they have found that it is just a little bit too tough to really hammer out those fast times here today. So they've settled down into racing. The lowest one was between 20 and 25 kilometres, and since then she's been gradually raising the pace, and certainly enough to, I think,
they will be gathering themselves mentally, screwing up their courage, so to speak, as you say, to prepare for that sprint. But what, it's still 4 or 5 across. Paula, you think the weather's been a feature? None of them seem to be sweating up particularly. I don't think, Paula, when he's probably delighted that nobody was pushing it hard from a long way out.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you make the move here, you have to make that move with confidence and with a huge amount of strength, and you have to get it right. If you go a little bit too soon, you will overcook it, and you will pay for that here, because you can see just how quickly they are moving now. And I'd like to have a clock on the last 400 metres of this.
Well, they're really jockeying for position now. Kiptanui in second place at the moment, but he's making yet another surge. What a finish we've got here.
Well, the last 8 races have been won by Ethiopians. Indeed, Dubai's been won 13 times by Ethiopians, 7 times by Kenyans. But this is pretty much what we expected, isn't it, over this last half hour? Nobody was committing hard.
And it looks as if we've got the most decisive move so far. And it's going to be yet another Ethiopian victory.
And it's Adugna who's kicked hard around that turn, managed to get a little bit of a jump on Kiptanui, who tried to respond but wasn't able to respond, and now he's working very hard. A little look behind, but he can't believe how easy it's been in the end.
Well, he's another debutant, so Kiptanui and Adugna, 2 debutants in first and second. Pat, this is astonishing. He's a 61.43 half marathon runner. He's actually nowhere near on paper the class of those men behind him.
but checking his watch just to make sure. He didn't even bother with that. There's a big clock right at the, well, yet again. He made a decisive move after Kip Tanui had really gone for it. So 2 debutants. We already had this race won by a debutant in 2012. And there he goes. Adugna crosses the line. 2:06.15, followed by Kip Tanui. How about that? Well, first timers all the way here.
And he's only 20 years old. That is some run. $100,000, 20 years old, 2:06.
Very dominant race and a significant victory for her. And it will, of course, be her second fastest time of all time.
And won the Chicago Marathon earlier this year.
She is slowing a little bit now. 3:26s for those last ones. Another worried look behind her. I mean, the last stat that we had, she had a 90-second lead on the chase group. You can see why she...
And a chartered Dubai Marathon.
Can she just get under the 2:19 barrier? Because that is a significant barrier for her. I don't think she's going to make it.
Nevertheless, it's going to be another Ethiopian double-header after Adugna's maybe surprise victory in the men's race. Worknish Degefa, a tried and tested competitor when we're in Boston last year. She's going to go back there prior to the what we presume is participation in the Olympic Games in Tokyo in August, when the marathons are going to be run.
It's been a hard second half for her, but congratulations on the victory. 2:19.37 for Worknish Degefa, improving on that second place from last year.
And in fact, Shona seems to have picked up a considerable amount of time in the last kilometres, and a bit too late to really make inroads into a potential victory. Nevertheless, another Ethiopian comes in second place behind Worknish Degefa.
And a huge personal best, previous personal best of 2:23.32. That's, I made it about 2:20.10 for Shona, and as you said, closed substantially again in that final straight. You could just see her ready pink shoes coming into view in the top of the shot as Degefa was finishing, and just showed how much she had closed that gap.
Well, last year we had an Ethiopian 1, 2, 3 in the men's race, but this year it looks like it's going to be top 3 Ethiopians in the women's race. Ethiopian did win the men's race from a Kenyan and another Ethiopian, but congratulations for an excellent personal best run from Shona of Ethiopia.
And here comes Hirpa now into the closing straight, and she, well, you can see the chasing feet in the top of your screen behind her, but I think she's reasonably clear and safe in third position down this straight.
Bernardo Hirpa, 2:21.32 she ran in Frankfurt in 2018, and she's going to be roughly, well, she's just going to be outside that, I think, here today. Nevertheless, $20,000 prize money for third place here.
And she's held it together well. She really, I think, felt the strain when Shona tried to push on and was trying to close on Degefa ahead of her. She's had to run alone for the final 7 kilometers or so of this race, but she's held it together reasonably well.
Coming in third place, Bernardo Hirpa, the youngest of the elite women, only 20 years of age. Nonetheless, this is her 8th marathon. Third in Dubai and a $20,000 prize.